All right, we'll call this, April Building and Grounds meeting together at 4:30. We'll start out with a roll call.
Here.
Commissioner Hogan?
Here.
Commissioner Haley? Have we got them muted, Joe?
Here, sir. Here, sir.
Okay. Commissioner Couts? He's here.
Get the wrong button. Get his video.
Himself off.
Can we hear him here? All right, Bill Moore?
Here.
I'm here, so. Next thing, everybody's had a chance to look over the minutes. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Got a motion by Commissioner Hogan,
Second.
second by Commissioner Moore. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Ayes have it. Let's hang on just a second and see if we can get Bobby back on there.
I'm back.
All right.
Oh, what happened? I'm back.
Houdini's back. All right. We'll turn it right over to Jason.
Well, the termite inspection down there, we got them treated. All the termites have been taken care of. They went around, drilled all the building, and treated everything for it. So
Right. So everything's good on that?
everything's good.
Now, what building we?
The DMV.
Okay.
That's a whole lot
That's what
better
we're
than
talking about.
what he was saying it was gonna be at first.
Oh, yeah. So that was about it.
All right, that's all you got then?
Yes,
All
sir.
right, I'll turn it on over to Trey.
Okay, at our last meeting, which was in February, we didn't have a March meeting. We talked about bringing back up a possible sale of the DMV building. So I guess really I'll turn it over to Eric to.
Well, I've talked to Clyde, and Jody had gotten an email from him also, and we were our last meeting, we were talking about waiting a month or so to put it out, and I'd like to see us do whatever we need to get it up and get it moving, see if we can get it sold, and what we're gonna have to do is decide how long we wanna put it out for advertising, how we wanna advertise it. Of course, we do have limitations on it, so I'm open for any discussion on that.
Is it paying for itself?
Jody can tell you.
Pay out in 10 years?
Well, what's happened is we've already, paid the note
I
on
know
it.
that, but if we had to amortize the balance of what it would be on a yearly basis with the income coming in and the improvements we got to make, considering we may have to put a new air conditioning unit in it, tower or whatever, is it paying for itself? I know we don't need to be in the business.
I'd want to do a thorough analysis before I could say yes on that. I can only
Oh,
tell you
we're
what I
close.
know. Yeah, what I could tell you now is we're collecting $10,590 a month, okay? So we're collecting $127,080 a year. And I think the utilities run, a couple thousand, 2,500, 8,000. And then we end up paying for the, not insurance, but the, property tax because it's being leased out. And I see one of those is, I think, around 12,000 and the city one is about 4,500. So I guess you could say we're probably clearing around $100,000
A year.
a year.
What do we gave $1.5 million, did 70,000 on it.
But we're actually getting that money back through rent though.
I know it, but
That's included in all that, so
Right.
yeah,
in the
so $1,500,000.
figure what it is.
Okay.
I don't want to see us in the real estate business. but-
$1,150,000. We've had it, I think it's gone on, it was 2017, September 2017 is when it was purchased.
I just don't want us to put it out there, we get nothing on it. Somebody comes by and offers us a third of what it's worth, and we counterbalance and say, hey, let's get out of the business. We're gonna lose some money, and I don't think that's good stewardship.
Well, we don't have to sell it. It ain't what we want, but we can advertise it and see if our key, I feel like here is advertising. How we broadcast this thing. Last time we did it within the county, and if that's all we're gonna do, and my thinking, we're not doing no good. So I know that you can't get a realtor and stuff, and so there's certain ways you can advertise it, and Jody was gonna look into that. And, you know, what we was talking about is how long we wanna advertise it this time. Do we wanna do another month? Do we wanna do 6 weeks? Do we wanna do 2 months? Cause we did it 30 days or something last time, and we didn't get a bite on it.
Well, putting a bid out to mow the yards is one thing. Putting the bid out to sell a piece of property is something else.
$173 is what it cost me to run it twice.
How many?
$173.26 is what it cost to run it twice in the connection on November 10th and November 17th.
Miss Jody's got her hands full anyway. You're not a realtor, are you? You're not a realtor. I didn't think so.
Did that in California for a couple of years. Oh, thank you.
I think we need to get outside this county somehow. It's a
I don't
good
really
piece of
know.
property.
Yeah, I don't really know how to do that because this is all we've known to do in the past.
Yeah.
They talked about advertising it in the Tennessean. That would be really, really very expensive.
Yeah.
I think when we asked Clyde in his email, his
What did he
big
say?
deal was he said, have the sale very well advertised. Well, how do you do that? So we talked about it to him, and he said that we previously talked to CTAS Legal, both back when we sold the Woodland Street building and our latest effort to sell this Tennessee Department of Safety building. Says they have advised if we use an auctioneer or realtor that you have to first take bids from the auctioneers to get the job. In the big picture, CTAS Legal has advised that the best way to go about this is to prepare bid specs like we've done in the past, we've done before. Have the sale very well advertised, open the bids, and then have probably finance and or budget committees approve and have final approval from the full county commission. That helps.
That's what we talked about.
Mhm.
So could I ask something?
Yes. Go ahead.
I hear that we can't use a realtor, but then I thought I heard Jody say that we could advertise and have a realtor put bids in and then somebody could list it. Is that what I understood?
The only thing that he really doesn't say realtor, he acts like it's an auctioneer or realtor, and then he says we have to first take bids from the auctioneers to get the job. So you have to find out what they're going to charge you to do it. But I guess that can kind of get a little bit, involved trying to figure out who's the best person. What if they all bid the same percentage? Then what do you do?
They're gonna hit you at 6.
So he kind of steers, he steers away from that. He says, Clyde says in the big picture, CTAS Legal has advised that the best way to go about this is to prepare the bid specs like we've done in the past.
Hey, let me just say that, I know the Tennessean's high, but one ad is quarter, it's $500. If it gets one person that sells it up to bid $10,000, that ad won't pay for itself.
Maybe it'll get the Robertson County Realtors Association, if you get your specs, email it to them, they can email it to all their members. Get your word out there too. It's the same thing with the state association too.
I was telling Miss Jody, there is a commercial site, well, it's called loopnet.com, LOOPNET. And all it has is investment properties. It has self-storage buildings, it has mobile home parks, it has commercial buildings, it has industrial buildings. And it's nationwide. You can search by state, city, or whatever. I don't know if that would be an option. I'm sure there would be a fee to list it on there, but it would get exposure.
Well, we need to, if we're gonna put it up, we need to make a money effort, because if we don't get no bids this time, we're sitting there stale for free.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It don't be stale then.
my thinking is if we don't put the effort out to get it somewhere and we do what we did, we're just wasting our time. I mean, we either spend a little money, advertise it, or we just quit riding this horse and let it stay in the stable.
I'd definitely put something in Tennessee.
Yeah.
What about the specs? Get the specs together. Don't we have them already?
Everything's already been sent out once before, so yes, we have all the
Building
specs.
size, got everything prepared. All we need to do is get that sent out.
And
Yeah.
the connection, you can go through them and put something in Tennessee.
This is the ad, this is the size ad we put in there. Cross that. They're the ones we put it in the connection.
How long was that for?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Ran it 2 weeks.
Is it such a thing as paying a finder's fee to the realtors without getting into a commission basis?
He didn't say that at all. He said that if you go the realtor way, that you have to end up kind of bidding out which realtor you're gonna use.
Well, and if you go through the Robertson County Realtors Association, would they want something? Somebody bid on it, you know what I'm saying?
You have them put it
If
on
they
there.
get, if you bring a client to purchase something.
Yeah, see, they don't
it
want
could
part
be
of the
client to buyer.
Yeah, and that's what Clyde's saying that we can't do. Isn't that right?
We can't pay for it, but
I don't
he
know.
didn't say anything that the buyer can pay for
Yeah.
it. Honestly, I don't know.
I sold a house, my house on East Harrison Road, and I sold it as is. And these are the dollars I wanted. And the realtor came to me and said, I got a person. I said, well, congratulations. This is what I want. And then when we closed, she said, where's my cut? I said, I was a realtor at one time. And I said, I told you on front end, you're going to have to get it from the buyer. And they got it from the buyer.
Well, if you put that buyer's premium on it, it ain't very popular.
I think
No,
what happens though, you should really be careful because now it makes me think that you could have other real estate agents say, well, that was unfair. You chose this one
Right.
over here and then we're gonna end up in
I
a
mean,
problem.
you really open up. a can
That's the
of
only
worms.
reason that we need to be careful.
I understand that we don't want to show favoritism, but our job is to get the taxpayer. If the taxpayer, if we own this building, if we can get them the most amount of money, I don't hurt anybody's feelings, but if it seems to me, if we put this thing out and say, what are you willing to sell it for? And everybody gets a shot. And then we have an evaluate. We do it all the time. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings, but our job is to get the most we can for this building or eat it. One of the two. I mean, and I don't think being afraid, it seems like to me we're afraid to try something because we're not sure we can.
Well, I know one thing, a realtor cannot give you a percentage, a set percentage. That's against the law. But they could come in and say, hey, I'll charge the buyer 1% or 2% or whatever. But just to set a percentage rate, us do it, you can't, that's against the law. Realtors do it at 6%, but they're not supposed to.
That's right.
Well, if you all do want a realtor to do it or an auctioneer to do it, you could make a motion and Clyde Richard will have to be involved. I have no idea how to do any of that. And he'll probably get his legal, what we have to do from CTAS.
Can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
I would suggest running the Tennessean before you go to all that length. I mean, you might find the right buyer by running the Tennessean.
Yeah, too, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, we can try the Loop Nep and the Tennessee. You know,
LoopNet sounds like we'd be putting it in the Tennessee and we pay a fee to put it in Tennessee and I guess we pay a fee to put it out there on LoopNet, I think.
Check and see them out.
so do we need to check with the Loop Net also and see?
Not what the fee would be,
Okay.
the listing fee.
So do we want to go on for sure and run it with the Tennessean like we did?
We need to make sure that we want to sell this building first. We hear a lot of talk. Do we want to sell this building?
Well, I don't
This
think we want-
meeting right here.
I don't think we need to be in the real estate business.
Are you
My
making a
thinking.
motion, Mr. Chairman?
What, to sell it? Sure, I'll make a motion to sell it.
I'll second that motion.
All right. More discussion?
Question?
Question being called. We'll do a roll call. Commissioner Hogan's a yes?
Yes.
Commissioner Moore?
Yes.
Commissioner Haley?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Couts?
Yes.
Chair's a yes.
And we
Motion
got that
passes.
out of the way.
Okay,
So whatever that's do, we're gonna sell this building.
right.
We need to figure out the best way. And that's where we are, right?
Right.
Officially, that's what we've done. And we're gonna suggest that to the county legislative body. We want to sell this building.
Commissioner Roberts,
Yes, sir.
can Trey tell us how much it costs to list it on the LoopNet?
He was gonna check. He wasn't sure.
Okay.
He'd check tomorrow.
I didn't hear that. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Okay, so if you want me to go on ahead and put it out to bid, myself and Kristen, we could probably fit this in our schedule and get this bid packet with all the new information ready by Friday. So we could post this on 4/9. And you guys want to go to the same 30 days that you went on this, or would you like to go a little longer?
I think the discussion was we was gonna sell the building. Then this discussion happened, how we're gonna sell it. And
Okay.
Jody, you're moving on that we're gonna go on and list it and put it out
You're
there.
gonna-
We haven't got to that.
Oh, you haven't got to do it the
No,
same way?
we're still in that.
Well, I mean, we,
That's what we need, but we
Right.
need to make sure that we're heading the right direction so we don't make anybody upset.
Okay. Let me know what I need to do.
Yeah, that's what we, and to give her the position to do it, we're in the same boat we were back several months ago.
so basically our motion would be just, because we've already have it out, printed out right here, all we have to do is change dates on it,
That's right.
is all we have to do.
Yeah. And Jody doesn't have to go back in and read it. And so what we can do is hear from Trey. We need to call, Miss Jody, do you have a connection to Tennessean?
No, I
Okay.
don't.
Mr. Chairman, we need to call Tennessee,
Well, let me make a suggestion.
okay?
I think you need a motion, to sell it, how many days, and have an amount of money that you want to advertise.
Not to exceed an amount of
Not to exceed
advertising.
the amount. Like I say,
Tennessee and being priority.
well, the connection.
Anything else beyond that?
Connection, they do that for Tennessee, right, Leanne? Y'all did for time, didn't
It was the Robertson County
Connection is
Times.
different than,
you?
Yeah.
But
the Times was owned by Gannett.
they work with
Tennessee.
them, I mean, it's
I
all,
don't know what
yeah.
the connection does.
So we want to make a motion on the dollar amount we want to spend to advertising, correct?
We're heading back down the same road, which is good if it works. We need-
Do it
we
all
need to
in one motion
expand.
Instead of having 4 different motions.
We need to expand it.
As far as advertising.
Yeah, that's what we get caught at.
Anybody have an idea what Tennessee will cost?
I
That
don't know.
ad she just showed you, probably $500.
But if you toss it out there, we're gonna come back with no answers. It's gotta go.
Commissioner Roberts,
Yes, sir.
I'd be interested in us doing all three at once. If Trey finds out that LoopNet is reasonably priced, we do the Tennessean, the Connection, and LoopNet all simultaneously.
But then do we need to put a dollar amount on it?
We'll need to advertise it accordingly, like Billy says.
Right.
Yeah, but we'll need to get those prices, wouldn't we, before we set the cap on how much money we want to spend?
Not to put the ad out, would we? We're just going to put it out and pay for
Well,
it.
but what he's saying is that if that ad's $500 and it's a $200 for somewhere else, are we good just to leave it wide open, or do we need to say,
I thought Commissioner Haley was all three at one time.
right, but what he's saying though is that we were talking about a cap for a dollar amount as far as advertising, isn't that what we were saying?
Oh, I thought.
That's correct, sir.
Okay, I thought it's understanding the price.
Is that what you were
of the
talking about, Ben?
Well, Jody's already said what the Connection ads cost.
Right.
Yeah, that's
You
100.
gotta go to Tennessee and you might as well figure on $500 from that side.
So
And what's the other one?
I don't know, Trey's gonna check. That's
Trey was
something
gonna
I'm
check on
looking at.
that.
Connection
I have
Tennessee.
no idea what it costs. I would speculate it would be more than the other two considerably if you want nationwide.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised with $1,000, $1,500. I don't, but I gotta check on it.
So do we want to, it's hard to set a number,
Yeah,
you know.
and I think we probably may want to advertise more than one time. Like in Tennessee.
Yeah.
The connection, this is 2 times.
Okay.
So I guess what we could do if we go 30 days, do you like want to alternate it, like have it in this paper one week and that paper the next week? And then this paper kind of skip a week?
Yeah.
And then that way, you're having it in the paper every week.
So would we want to set a number as 1,500, 2,000, 1,000, not to exceed whatever.
We don't know what it's
I
gonna
mean,
cost
that's
right
the
now. We
thing.
don't know what the loop is gonna be.
If not, we'll have to wait another month before we do this.
Can we do an internet meeting, Mr. Roberts? When Trey gets that price?
Yeah, I guess we can. Yeah, I mean, that's fine with me.
Yeah, we can do that. Not supposed to, but we can do it.
Well,
Is there
I mean,
anything-
can't
You
one
do call
person
it
be here
special
to
call
do it?
meeting.
Can't one person be here and then everybody else just come virtual?
Mhm. Yeah.
We could do that. I'd come up here and,
Is there anything out there for property like there is for industrial equipment where you've got magazines that, you know, they send to everybody in the world about that? Which, you know, once it gets printed like that, it's a lot more people could see it, I think. But I don't know.
well, I think what we ought to do is let Jody, she could check on the Tennessee and check on the internet thing and maybe get on a few others and see what a dollar amount would cost us. And if we have to come back and I can come up here if we have to do a special call meeting, nobody has to come, you can get on virtually and we'll do it that way if we need to pass a dollar.
Do you need a motion to that effect?
Yeah, yeah, to make it official.
Okay. Yeah,
I'll make that motion as you stated it.
okay. So
I'll second it, Commissioner Roberts.
got a motion by Commissioner Couts and a second by Commissioner Haley.
What is the motion, Mr. Chairman?
The motion is to let Jody see what it's gonna cost us to advertise, come back to us with a number, and then we can meet virtually and we can vote on this and pass this so we can get it moved on through.
Question.
Question being called. All right, Commissioner Moore,
Yes.
Commissioner Hogan,
Yes.
Commissioner Couts,
Yes.
Commissioner Haley,
Yes.
yes. 5, motion passes. All right. Got it moving.
Now, Mr. Chairman, when are we gonna set a price for that building? The minimum price?
Well, I think we discussed that at one time. We would just have to put it out there and see what we could get. And we don't even have to have a minimum price. We put it out for sale and get bids on it. If we don't like them, we don't take it.
Make sure we're okay with that.
Yeah, I don't
Because
think,
that's how she needs to word it, that we're,
Yeah,
well, it's
there's
worded
nothing on
like
here.
that. Yeah, that's how we
No,
did it
on
last
this
time.
one.
just make sure.
All right.
Okay, moving on, item number 2 under my section of the agenda. We are making progress on the ADA evaluation and transition plan. I'm actively talking with Greater Nashville Regional Council. We're in the process of compiling a list of facilities. When I say we, it's Jason, Joe and his bunch, Leanne and the mayor, myself, Chance Holmes and Amanda Porter. Right now it looks like we're going to have somewhere between 25 and 30 buildings that will have to be evaluated. This organization is kind of a quasi-government entity. They offer this service to all the cities and counties within there. I think they have a 13-county area that they work with. They did Cheatham counties. I can get you the link to that if you want to look at it. Ours would be very similar to theirs. We will have a few more buildings. I think they had 17 buildings, did not include the jail because at the time, and Sheriff and Major probably know this, the jail down there was being renovated and they had nobody in there. And they were renovated to be ADA compliant. So we will have the sheriff's department, the jail, and that sheriff's facility as part of the facilities that we evaluate. I hope to have, but I don't know that I will, next month, an actual proposal from GNRC, but it may be the following month because they want to come up and look. They do think they can do it this year. It will take 3 to 4 months. They will do the entire project inventory, write the report, all photographs, everything. All we will have to do is prioritize their findings and put them into a capital improvement plan over X number of years. We project to spend however many dollars next year and fix these items. They will give us the finished report. Leanne can put it on our website. We'll meet all continuing ongoing ADA public notice requirements by doing that. So I'm looking forward to that project. Any questions on that project? It does look like we'll finish it this year.
I'm gonna tell you.
Yes.
That's thorough too.
It's great.
Yeah, I went over and looked at it. Mr. Haley?
Will this include schools as well, Trey, or is this just the county buildings?
No, it's general county facilities and it does not include the school system. I have talked to Dr. Causey. I think they're working on or have already done theirs.
And the city is this the same group the city of Springfield used?
City of Springfield, a lot of municipalities and counties use consulting firms. This is an alternative to consulting firms and should be a lower fee for it. But no, they used a private consultant.
This will get us passed.
Pardon?
They will get us in a position to be passed.
Yes, we will be compliant. Okay, then I just want to briefly give you an update on some projects. I promise I'll be brief. I hope most of you have noticed, Eric mentioned it to me a minute ago before we started, the clerk and trustee drive-up windows. That project went very well. Y'all did very good on coming up with that. The signage and everything's working well. The lighted signage, the lane markings, as far as I know, everything to everybody's satisfaction.
You did a good job.
No, it wouldn't be
I paid
collaborative
my taxes
effort.
and went through the, paid them, went inside and told them how good a job they did. It was great.
Okay, then I got 4 projects. I'll talk very briefly. 2 of them, I'll group them into groups of 2. The animal control project and the solid waste repairs and renovation. Both of those are fairly hefty projects. Will run 6 or 7 months. Talked to the architect a few minutes ago. We should have the final check set of animal control plans this week. We look at those for a few days, get them back to them. So I'm hoping by the end of this month, we'll be able to advertise on animal control. Kind of grouped with that is the solid waste repairs and renovation. That one's estimated to be around $800,000 and will be fairly involved. It's lagging behind the animal control only a couple of weeks. So just a general estimate, we should be able to, both those projects, we should be able to advertise for bids April, May, open bids May, June, hopefully start construction June or July, and finish both of those by the end of the year, by December 31st, to be very close. Any questions on those projects? Okay, then we got 2 other projects, the jail plumbing project and the election office project. They're kind of grouped together. They also will finish by the end of the year, November, December, but they'll have shorter construction durations. They are projected, we should advertise those May, June, open bids June, July, start construction on those July, August, and hopefully finish, like I said, by November, December. Those will be 90 to 120 day projects. And I want to thank the Sheriff's Department. They've been really responsive on a lot of questions we've had. I've learned a lot about jail construction, and it is totally different than most other construction, the things you have to think about. I want to thank them. The election office too, thank Maynard and Kathy. They've been very responsive, and we're making great progress on both of those projects, and they're not lagging that far behind on design from these other ones. So it's going to be a busy year for me construction-wise, and I look forward to it between these projects and then the ADA project. And we got some school work going too.
Yeah.
So, no lack of work,
Yeah.
but I'll be glad to answer any questions that anybody may have.
Great, thanks. You've
Thank
taken
you.
a lot of pressure off of us.
I appreciate
I
it.
appreciate your work.
I appreciate the opportunity very much. More than y'all will know.
Are you thinking that on the voting machines that they're saying it'll be up to 90 days to finish that, right?
He said 90 to 120, probably closer to the 90 to actual finish it. Not as involved. There are some access issues getting materials in and out.
Will they be limited on their work time on that since it's over the courts?
Somebody above my pay grade will have to answer that question. There's been discussion, get it done as quick as we can, the demo, and so the noise will be over with, but I don't know if that's feasible. Maybe the sheriff or the mayor or somebody knows more than I do.
Doesn't want to be coordinated.
If not, you'll have a contempt of court.
Yeah. It makes them up for stop.
Sheriff, I know you had some concerns about getting in there on time in a certain area. It seems that that's not going to happen. You still okay?
I need a space, so I don't know if anybody's got any ideas temporarily, someplace we can go. Probably gonna cost me some overtime, being after hours, because can't be shooting guns off and all that yelling and stuff going on, you know. Most places, county has space, I would imagine, but so that'd be like after hours, weekends, so.
I heard the old
4
tractor
hours thing.
supply building kind of.
Everybody got any ideas of a room that would be available?
Is it something that can be done during the after hours? Is that what you're saying?
I said, yeah, it's probably gonna cost me some overtime to do that, but.
Well,
get us through the next few
I
months
mean,
anyway.
this may be the center room down there in the TSC building down there.
I was wondering about.
That center room down there has nothing in it. And it's a big area.
Got power to it.
It's got power and everything, and it would be law enforcement coming in and out.
Got a problem with loaning. You can't do it, you have to be after hours.
Yeah, but I mean,
I don't
it,
think the DMV would like them.
no, but I mean, it's, well, I mean, now the state.
Maybe come on with
y'all-
chickweed. Y'all have a chickweed.
He's better out there.
The whole
But
thing
I
is
mean,
in
I'm
there,
just
stuff
thinking,
for
I thought about
Chamber
that
of
the other
Commerce.
day. I mean, that's a big area.
Some
If we
furniture,
could get you in there
something.
temporarily, it would be, it's even got like a room in it, like
Hey,
staff
Yeah, we
room.
ain't got the parts.
Let the sheriff get with,
Pieces
Mr. Grant
the rest of the day.
Keys to it. We'll go check that out.
I mean, it's the whole center
You can
room
actually
right
lock it
there.
off.
It's even got like a
He wanted to
projector
keep
room
them.
in behind it.
It's just got
That
two,
is still
like French
all right.
doors at one end, and you can,
And actually
you can figure
there is,
out a way to lock it off, or
Yeah.
that
nobody
and
can
the
get in there
two
and feel
front
it.
offices.
It could work.
Can't remember if Caleb has that or not. I can't remember, but we can find out.
It's a secure area there.
he don't have.
Jason probably knows.
But I mean, that is
The
a
front
big
two
area
offices.
right there, and I thought about that.
He
the
gave
other
those up,
day.
didn't
well,
It's a
the
real
front
big area.
offices, but you got that one big room where they had their
Get us through the next
projector
few
and all
months
that
anyway.
stuff. It's,
Yeah.
it's
And
about
I
the size of this
appreciate
room
y'all
right here.
being patient. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's on Caleb's side.
I know it, and
But
we
you
appreciate
don't have nothing
everything.
Everybody has needs.
If y'all could go down there and look at that, could you get with the sheriff and go down there
Tomorrow maybe, and we'll go
Yeah.
down there and look at it.
and go down there and look
Y'all
at
good
it?
with us using it if we're good with
I
it?
would know.
It's
I mean,
county building.
well, it's down there out of the way. I mean,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
think
and
it'd be
it's
great.
weekends or whatever. I
I
mean,
think it'll work, we'll go ahead and move on with it then.
yeah, I mean, if we could do that, I think that would be ideal. Now we know there's a reason we didn't give that space up. So,
Amen.
you know, and it's big enough that,
Get us through till the fall.
yeah. And I mean, you know, you could, and just get with Caleb when you're down there too, and if you see him and tell him, you know, so, I mean,
Thank you, Nicole.
If it works, you might not want to sell the building to
I was
Paul.
thinking.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's a good point.
Yep.
well, you know,
Like,
that
let
may
him look at it, let him look at it, we,
Yeah.
you know.
well, you can find some numbers out still. You can go look at it, and if it works, we don't have to sell the building right now. We can house you down there, and we're gonna kill two birds with one stone.
So that probably, he said they wanted to do something.
Yeah.
With the understanding, we're still renovating that third floor.
Like I said, I mean, it's a big area down
I love it when
That-
things come together.
It's about the size of this room.
there. All right.
Yes.
Yeah, it's Here.
Hey, Commissioner Roberts.
Yes.
I thought, maybe I misunderstood, but I thought we had talked about moving the voting machines to the old, or what we use for early voting, so that the sheriff could go ahead and put the simulator up while the construction was going on. Was I dreaming that up?
I talked to Kathy Hamsley, sit in her office and talked to her, and words from her was to me, and I don't think she'll care. They ain't moving, and her commission told her they wasn't. That's
Okay.
what I was told. So, and,
Okay.
so that was what I was told, and I told the sheriff that, so, you
Well,
know,
there's really not enough room either.
no. So, I
Okay.
mean,
I understand.
if we can go this route, you know, okay.
It was influenced by national decisions. Everything going wrong in voting. They say, keep it. Kathy's scared to death.
Yeah.
She wants everything to be just perfect. Don't blame her. That's good news.
All right, so sheriff's gonna get Jason tomorrow, whenever. Y'all go look at it, see what you think, and see if that'll work. Like I said, it is a big room, and if that works out for y'all, we can, if we need to, put on.
Find out what the Tennessean is anyway. like
Yeah,
this
you can
one.
find out what the Tennessean is, and that'll give us some numbers, and it may work out good that
You
we
just
got a
wait.
place to house them for a little bit, and it may be meant to be that we don't move along with selling it for right now.
Move with adjourn, Mr.
All right,
Chairman.
got a
I got
motion
two
to,
things real
All
quick.
all right, wait a minute.
One update was on our portable classroom for the range. We're still waiting from the state to give us the okay. And it's a temporary building on landfill property, and they're Still waiting to hear from them. They're taking their time with that, so. So, talking to Jody, of course, with the plumbing project being, it's probably not gonna start till after next budget, and I don't know where the state's gonna get back with us quick enough to get this portable, classroom for the range put in. We may have to do a reserve fund with those funds for next year to take care of that on next year's budget, whatever y'all think, or
You can ask
Jody
budget
suggested.
tomorrow. You can ask them to set the
just kind of
reserves
give you an
up.
idea of timeframes. We're getting down to the crunch here now. We've got a couple months left. Things are still dragging out, seems like, on projects. So, Amber's though, they should, next week, I think they're gonna start doing some of their work and stuff. That's
Hey,
probably-
Commissioner Roberts, my last question, I promise it's the last one.
Okay.
Where did we stand with that, the property, at the solid waste, the road frontage property? Oh, have we dropped that altogether?
As far as the guy wanting to,
Right.
I think he moved on.
He did.
He
Okay.
moved,
He moved, north, I guess, one property,
yeah,
and he's getting access from them, from the adjacent property.
Okay.
yeah, that worked out for the best.
Mr. Chairman, I think the sheriff had another point.
Yeah, I'm fixing to get him.
I apologize, Sheriff. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Not my meeting. My statutory duties are just to report any repairs that need to be made to the county's courthouse. I try to save some trees, so I made a few copies, but that's what we had submitted, a quarter ago. I'm just gonna do that on a quarterly basis. He just went in, updated some things, whatever he saw that needed fixed over there during his inspection, so
Okay,
just to let y'all know what he's done.
all right.
Now we move to.
So I got a motion to adjourn by Commissioner Hogan.
Some of that.
And
Bill
I'll-
seconds it.
Bill seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank y'all.